Alright, we're continuing the found footage. I'm all over the place, I know. Found footage reviews. I decided to watch some found footage movies today. We got Always Watching, Marble Hornets story. And, okay. When I first watched this, I hadn't seen Marble Hornets yet. And this is a good movie, don't get me wrong. But it has absolutely nothing to do with Marble Hornets. No one who works on Marble Hornets worked on this. There's no one here who worked on Marble Hornets. Based on the web series Marble Hornets. Has nothing to do with it. Other than when they're at a gas station, there's a poster, a missing poster for Alex Crayley. That's it. The mechanics of the operator or Slender Man, whatever. This is Slender Man because it's not the operator. The mechanics of how it works is different. One, in this version, you can only see him when the camera's on him, which is not how it works in the show at all. In Marble Hornets, they could see him regardless of the camera. And here, you can only see him when he's on camera. And he follows the connection. He makes a connection once you start paying attention to him. Then he makes a connection and he follows you, and eventually he will take you and your family. He will kill anyone you're around, basically. So the story revolves around 3 people working for a newspaper who are doing this story on these people that clean out houses. And in one house, the Whitlock's house, they find a box of tapes, which they take back for, to get permission to take the tapes, and they take them back to get footage to see what they could do. Milo, that's the cameraman, finds that there's this strange person or thing following Dan Whitlock, the father of me. And it's a double found footage film, because we get their footage, but we also get them watching the footage of Dan Whitlock's footage. And I don't know, it's a lot to edit together. Plus they do the thing where if they walk into a place that has a camera, it switches to that camera for a second, and then goes back to that footage, which doesn't make a lot of sense. What kind of person say we're going to edit this footage of a missing person? Oh, but of what happened, that people are dead. And there's this other case that's connected to it. We gotta edit that footage in. Oh, and then we also have footage of them walking into this building. Let's edit that in. How does that work for if it was actual found footage for a case or something? Doesn't make a lot of sense. And like I said, the mechanics of the operator or Slender Man, whatever, in this one are different. You can only see him when he's on the camera. He leaves a mark on your neck, on your body, neck, stomach, back, what have you, arm, whatever. He leaves a mark, the operator symbol of that thing that Alex Crayley was drawing in Marble Hornets. He leaves that symbol on your body, somewhere on your body, and that's how it marks you, and it finds you, and eventually it will kill you. It even gets a dog in this one, Marty, who's Milo's dog. It doesn't follow anything from Marble Hornets. That has nothing to do with Tim, who's the major connection that we never really got a solid answer to what the true connection to Tim and the operator was. And I thought, some people might have thought, this would finish that, but that's nothing to do with it. And to be honest, Marble Hornets is way better than this film. I mean, it's decent. If you take it out of context, if they took the Marble Hornet thing off of it and just said Always Watching a Slender Man story, that would make more sense. I should tell you what, this is better than that stupid Slender Man movie that came out last year. It was terrible. It's not a found footage film, I'm not going to worry about it here, but So like I said, And then there's some character progression that kind of doesn't make any sense to me either. All right, so you start off on New Year's Eve, right? It's New Year's Eve. There's Sarah. She has an addiction to painkillers, and she says it's going to be her last Percocet of the year. She does it, whatever. And then they're supposed to be, pill free. She meets Milo. It looks like they're going to have a relationship. Then it cuts some months later. Milo was stalking her. Okay, I understand. It didn't work out with you, so you're going to follow her around. But they still work together. And then there's this new guy, Charlie, that comes in. And he's the third person in this group. Is supposed to help them with these cases or whatever. And to me, okay, you got the whole storyline where Milo is following her around, right? And that works because he still cares for her. In the end, that's what it should have came down to, is that he still cares for her. But that's never even mentioned after, a certain point. Then you got Charlie coming in. He's this third. What they should have done is make him like this third wheel type of guy, and someone that Marty doesn't. I keep calling him Marty. Milo doesn't like, and they do that. Milo doesn't like him because he's approaching in on his territory, and he wants to be with Sarah. And they should have had some kind of aggression towards each other, but it should not have gone the way it did in the movie. In the movie, they outright have Charlie sleep with Sarah. You didn't need to do that. In my opinion, my honest opinion is that, well, she doesn't end up with either of them, because they all end up dead. They all end up dead. Spoiler alert. Charlie should have never been a love interest type of character. He should have been this character where Milo and Sarah are the love interests for each other, but Charlie's sort of in the way. Like, they tried to go out, it didn't work for some reason. And they could have had her addiction be that reason, but then she decided to go back to not doing it, and that's why he's following her around to make sure that she's not doing it. And he said that that's what it started out, and then it changed into something else along the way. But you didn't need Charlie to be another. You didn't need them to sleep together. It's all that. Every time I watch this, that bugs me. They didn't, because I remember the first time I watched this with a friend of mine. I was sitting there going, "Oh, really? They did that? They had them sleep together." I didn't say it out loud, but it was in my head because I wasn't voicing my opinions. But in my head, I'm thinking, really, they did that? They didn't need to have them sleep together. That's the main thing. And yeah, what else? The whole idea that, that's another thing, is that in Marble Hornets, it was implied that Tim was under the Slender Man's control for at least part of the time. Here, it outright shows you that the Slender Man Slender Man operator, whatever, can control you. First scene shows these two running, and there's one of the friends standing there and leaps out. We see that Dan Whitlock killed his daughter, pushed his wife down the steps, and it breaks his neck for him. So that's that. And then Milo at the end, Milo tries to go past it by hanging himself, but it still takes over his body. And that's another thing. It can't control dead people, alright? Even if it was implied that it could control Tim, he was alive the entire time. It can't control dead people. And I felt like they did that thing with Milo where he did that and it saved them, and then they wrote that and they're like, oh, wait a minute, it's a found footage movie, they all have to die. And I just read that he brings back to life and has them kill everyone. That's not how it works. Yes, a found footage movie, you can't die. Or you could have this be some sort of documentary, you know, where it shifts to an interview or something to the two survivors. If you did that, you might have to have them be together, so never mind. But because Sarah and Charlie don't get to be together. If anything, the operator Slender Man should have taken over Charlie, and Milo steps in and kills Charlie, but it's the Slender Man, and then they run away, even though it's going to follow them. But I don't know how that would work. The way they set up this whole mechanic with he has to believe he succeeded, and maybe that's why it didn't work, because Milo only believed that once Dan was dead, it stopped. Because the wife actually pushes Dan Whitlock down the steps and stops it. And then, so maybe I'm not right, I don't know, stops it, but she sets the house on fire. Why she did it, I don't know. Was she being controlled by it? I don't know. But she said the mark disappeared. They showed that the mark on her arm disappeared after this. So Milo tried to kill himself to stop. Milo tried to kill himself to stop it from getting them. It didn't work. They end up going to this cabin at the end after they try to find what happened to the Whitlocks. Their house is empty, of course, but then they find. And there's a little teaser as to what's going to happen, because they're on their way to find Whitlock's house, right? They stop at the gas station, where you see the little Alex Crowley poster. But then the fire trucks are going by. And I thought about that. I'm like, wait a minute. Is that a little hint that something has gone a little bit wrong? Because I find out later that the house had burned down. The house that they were living in now had burned down. So that means that, it could mean that the fire trucks that are in the background, while they're at the gas station, could have been the fire trucks that went to that fire. Who knows? When they get there, the whole house is burned down to the ground, which I don't think fires work that way. There's like nothing there. No foundation, no, I know fires can do that. But the way that the fire trucks showed up, they would have at least burned down some of it. There's like nothing there, I don't think. I don't think there's even a foundation or even a remnants of a house. At least I don't think so. But and then the secret area where Dan Whitlock was recording everything, and that's where they find the footage of what happened. And yeah, they all pretty much die because they get to this cabin. They're staying there. They're trying to hide after the dog had passed away, of course. They're trying to hide. They're trying to figure out what's going on. I think the whole dog thing was they need to get rid of the dog because, well, the dog could have been the only living thing, but it's still okay. They think that because you can only see it when it's on camera, so they think if they turn off the cameras, it'll just leave them alone. Well, think about this. Even if you can't see it on camera, it doesn't mean it's not there. They live. John Carpenter film, right? Just because Roddy Piper wasn't wearing the glasses doesn't mean that they weren't still aliens. You know what I mean? So just because you can't see him doesn't mean he's not there. Speaking of not there, when they go to see the mom, right, the Mrs. Whitlock, the only survivor, at this hospital, mental hospital, whatever it is, there's an old man played by the late great Angus Scrimm from Phantasm movies, and I didn't realize it was him. And I didn't watch the Phantasm movies till after I watched this, but I didn't realize it was the same guy until Phantasm Ravager, because it was close to this, the release of this, and I'm just like, is that the guy from Always Watching? He comes up to him and he goes, "You see the man who's not there?" They're like, what? Of course you don't, because he's not there. Maybe he can see it. I don't know. I don't like the way the mechanics work with this. You should be able to see it without the camera anyway. I saw it was. They do it so much better in Marble Hornets. I'm telling you, Marble Hornets is better than this. I gotta get to the end of this though. They get to the cabin, set up the cameras in the areas and stuff, and then it shows up. But Milo decides to hang himself, and it goes away. It stops. Then the dead bent neck Marty stands up, kills Charlie, and goes after Sarah. She runs outside and then somehow ends up back inside, and then it kills her, and then the Marty body or the Milo body just falls down and it ends. What a cop-out ending. Alright? Like I said, I believe they wrote themselves into a corner with that. Like, they had Marty do that and it stopped it, and then they thought, wait, it's a found footage movie. In a found footage movie, everybody has to die. So they just typed in the ending after that. Oh, the dead body of Milo gets up, kills Charlie, and then chases Sarah around until he kills her. The end. Stupid cop-out ending. Alright? It's stupid. They could have survived. You didn't even have to say that they're together or anything. You could just cut after Milo did that. Shoot a text that says Sarah and Charlie survived and have switched to new jobs where cameras are not involved, so that they will not see it again. And then the end of the film. That's the way to do it. Because, okay, you see it this way, right? Quit calling him Marty. Milo sacrificed himself to save his friends. Mostly Sarah, but to save his friends. And just having it, Slender Man operator, whatever, take over his body anyway, makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. Because what's the point of him hanging himself if it's not going to work? I always hate that in movies. We said this whole thing where we have to do something. And yes, that's a chapter 2 thing, which I don't know if I even said that, but you set up this thing where something's got to happen. You got to do this to stop it, and then you do it, and it doesn't work anyway. So what's the point of doing all that? And yes, it chapter 2 has a big problem with that. But this movie does it too, where Milo figures if he hangs himself, then it'll be over. And it should have. It should have worked. And it didn't, because they stuck to the thing where the one thing that I don't like about found footage movies, and that's that everyone has to die because it's footage that people found. Bullshit. Mrs. Whitlock survived. Why can't one of them survive? Even two. And you can say they gave the footage to whoever they were working for when they quit to do with what they wanted. And they put this documentary together. Then again, that could have made it worse, because once people find out there's something out there that you can only see when it's on camera, then again, they could say that, oh, this is, fictitious or whatever. But the ending always bugged me. Why have Milo hang himself if it's not going to work to stop it? So, then again, why would Milo hang himself? Like, Whitlock was possessed when he got pushed down the steps. So that's why he should tell, Charlie, because Charlie would do it over Sarah, when it takes control of me, shoot me. Because that would make more sense too. That's all you have to do is I think Charlie's got a gun, so, or have him put the noose over his neck, right? And when it takes me over, pull on the rope. And have Charlie just pull it or something, or have him push him over the edge or something. It makes more sense than him hanging himself before he's possessed. I mean, he was possessed earlier in the film when they're driving and he sees the headlights go out, so he gets up to check, and then he gets possessed. But it doesn't go anywhere. Otherwise, it's a decent movie. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. What are your thoughts on always watching a Marble Hornets story? Do you think it's better or worse? I think it's worse than the Marble Hornets. Marble Hornets are definitely better. But like, share, subscribe, and of course, love, peace, and chicken grease.